That's the biggest problem we have. People don't want to acknowledge death. Death is a part of life, sorry to say. We're all approaching it by the moment. People who have been in excruciating pain, they've come here and within hours have been out of pain, but not out of mind, so they could still talk. And this staff is wonderful at guiding you through what you want to do.
You may be talking about problems. We're not talking about solving a problem. You're talking about working with it. You're lengthening the good time that the patient has on this earth, something all of us would like to have.
And those families were absolutely desperate. They were out of emotional gas. They had no idea of the resources that were out there at that time. And now there are more resources.
40 years ago, we started Horizon Hospice. Dr. Duda wrote on the back of an envelope, "Here are our values. You won't die alone. You will be pain-free. You'll know what's going to happen to you." Hospice is about living. We're going to help you to live until you die.
It's not only good for the family, but it's also cost-effective. And interestingly, there's some data that people under hospice care live longer than they do if they pursue active medical care.
I think it's really important that we are able to provide services to enhance the quality of life. For one thing, reimbursement for care is not sufficient, so philanthropy has to subsidize that. Building of the facilities we have and the people that are rendering the services in order for us to provide the very highest quality services.
It just is a great organization that just helps so many people. It just, that's why the non-for-profit, we try to help anybody that can come in and we can help them, whether they can afford it or they can't afford it.
This is sort of like the end of life when you go there, and all of a sudden this is love and blessings, and it's done quietly and you're proud of it.
It's just so humane, and everybody has to face it at some time. Can't help but be inspired by the way everything's handled.
With him in hospice, for the first time, I felt that I could be the wife. I was at his bedside holding his hand, telling him how much I loved him, without tubes and equipment around him and hospital sounds ringing. It was peaceful. I've really come to embrace the beauty of having that time to be able to say goodbye and to be there with them.
You come here and you know that financially it's going to be all right because it's the last step. Without JourneyCare, I think you would feel lost and uninformed as to how to walk through the process. You've accepted to do this, and that's a huge, huge choice. And once you've done that, you're ready to take on the wonderful help you're going to get.
JourneyCare has a 40-year legacy of enriching lives through expert and compassionate care in a way that allows them to carry this experience throughout the rest of their life as the family. JourneyCare is intentional about meeting the needs of each individual patient, their families, and the people that love them the most. That is the heart of JourneyCare.
What these three facilities enable JourneyCare to do day in and day out is to care for a patient the way they need to be cared for, and to allow a wife or a husband, a son or daughter, to be there for their loved one the way they should be there. JourneyCare leads from the heart, from our donors to our corporate partners to our clinical teams, our volunteers. We are a family. We are able to provide the programs and services to each family, regardless of their ability to pay, regardless of where they live, because of our philanthropists, community partners, and leaders. We are helping families. You make it possible for families to have closure. Thank you.